Well, the alcohol industry has previously lamented restrictions on the sale of liquor. So let's get more reaction now from Sibani Mngadi, the chairperson of the South African Liquor Brand Owners Association. Mr. Mngadi, thank you so much for your time and a warm good morning to you. I mean, the president there declaring restrictions which will definitely affect your industry, your sector, because obviously with hospitality, entertainment, events now being restricted, this will have an impact. Even the sale of alcohol there being restricted and limited, but Friday, Saturday and Sunday, I understand, would not be sold. I mean, how impactful is this decision to industry?
Well, as an industry, we are equally concerned about the situation that is happening, especially in the trade district that the president has mentioned. And our approach is to work with the authorities in those respective districts and the two provinces, Western Cape and Eastern Cape, to try and contain the situation. We do feel that the president and government has had to consider a number of issues. We appreciate that they've taken an approach of a localized, focused intervention, which seeks to contain a specific problem in a specific area without undermining the efforts that we are making at this point to recover the economy, of which then the alcohol industry plays quite a critical role in it. With regard to the Eastern Cape in general and Nelson Mandela in particular, we have already been in collaboration with the Eastern Cape government to try and support them as much as possible in containing the situation in the Nelson Mandela Bay. And we're going to continue to do that over the next few weeks to make sure that at least there is sufficient capacity on the ground to push for compliance amongst traders and also better consumer awareness and behavior.
I mean, it's been quite a journey for industry. I remember when, alcohol sales were only limited to until Thursday. Industry took quite a fight there in trying to convince government to open up, and we saw it opening up a bit. But going back to not selling alcohol from, Friday right through Sunday, particularly in the Nelson Mandela Bay, what does that then mean for businesses and jobs there?
Yes, it will have an impact in that particular district, but I think what we appreciate is that there hasn't been just a blanket approach in terms of dealing with the situation in the province overall, as well as in the country. There have been consideration that this is a very specific situation which we need to try and contain. I think what I understood the president to be saying then, these interventions are going to be reviewed over time as we look at the trends and in terms of infections and the pressure on the hospitals. What we have done is to agree with the Eastern Cape government to have a joint task team with them where we share information. They share with us information around the trends in the health system, both in terms of the capacity of the hospitals there to respond. And on our side, we are providing actually even financial support for the province to be able to respond. We have provided 30 million rand for procurement of health supplies. We are also providing, particularly for those districts, the team of patrollers who are going to help police to ensure compliance amongst traders in those specific problematic areas. And I think over time we are working actually on awareness interventions which will make sure that at least the population in the affected Nelson Mandela district is more conscious of the situation, and we are able to begin to see a slowing down of the trend there. I think what will concern us is that we need the police to enforce this curfew as much as possible so that people do not move from that particular district to other areas that do not have restrictions, and therefore undermining first the overall idea of making sure that the cases are decreased, but also putting neighboring districts at risk.
And I suppose all is well that these plans are, put in place so to further support these health regulations. But I mean, how are traders and consumers reacting and also responding? That's the word I'm looking for, to your efforts. I mean, if people are still consuming alcohol and they are in large numbers, not adhering to health measures, if traders perhaps are not assisting you in making sure that health protocols are followed, we might face another resurgence. So what would then be the consequences of that as well?
Yes, I think what we are doing as an industry, because we need to balance the economic interest, which is protection of a number of jobs, million jobs that are supported by this industry, the income that comes in terms of business activity, as well as excise tax that we contribute. We contribute something like 57 billion in various taxes to the fiscal. So there is that element that we need to protect. At the same time, we are very conscious that we are facing a serious health problem that we need to contain. All of us cannot afford a national research of resurgence of cases of COVID, as well as the pressure on the health system. So we are trying to balance the two. Therefore, we are taking an approach of helping government to make these health interventions to be much more effective. Part of that is to teach or raise awareness amongst traders across the country on their individual responsibility to make sure that our industry doesn't contribute to the rising of cases. So that's generally the approach we are taking all over the country. We are educating traders that it is important. Yes, we have lost a lot of money over the 90 days that we were unable to trade, but there is no point in going beyond 50% capacity in terms of your patrons in their outlet, because at the end that will mean we may have to lose the opportunity that we have to sell. I think the message is landing amongst the majority of traders, taverns, restaurants, bars, and of course we will have people who are not complying, in which case then we would like to work with the police in ensuring enforcement in those problematic areas. That's generally the approach we are taking,
right.
And we will be trying.
All right, Mr. Mngadi, let's leave it there due to time, but thank you so much for your contribution to this conversation.